Hey friends, Tuxx here. For this particular video, I'll be unboxing the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. This is one of the hottest items this holiday season, and I received it for Christmas. I feel so grateful, man. This has been tough to get a hold of. In fact, most times people have to wait in lines or overnight or something crazy, and it's amazing that like a classic system would actually get so much attention that it'd be so sought after that it was like the hot item more than even more recent systems, you know. And this holiday season, I want to say the Switch, although it was very hard to get a hold of at first, it was obtainable this holiday season, but this bad boy really wasn't, you know. And Nintendo did release the NES Classic about a year ago, and of course that was just as hot too. Now I don't know if the future of like classic systems will continue. Like, I don't know next year if they do like a GameCube Classic Edition, if that will have the fanfare of like Super NES, because this system honestly has a lot of fun lore with it, and for a lot of people, myself included, this is like one of my favorite original game systems. When this came out, it really seemed special because the difference in generations between the NES and the Super NES, that was a big jump in technology, you know. And nowadays, as much as I love my Xbox One X, it's the type of thing where when you go from one system, you know, to another, sometimes the graphic tweaks are just a little bit. There's like little tweaks, but not a huge jump in technology. But anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead and take a look. The packaging here is very great. Sorry for the smears. It kind of resembles the original Super Nintendo box with the font and everything. And what's great about these is this includes games. And unlike the Super NES Classic, this one contains Star Fox 2. And what's special about Star Fox 2 is Star Fox was one of the original hot games for the Super NES, okay? And they were working on this Star Fox 2, and for whatever reason, they didn't put it out, okay? Like, they switched systems, and it took so long in development, they just kind of got rid of it, you know? So it's hard to say for sure why they didn't just release it on N64, which, you know, was one of the next systems, but it was the type of thing where they didn't, you know. So the system, this game, Star Fox 2, has been kind of like never released for, what, 20, 30 years or whatever it's been? It's been a long time, you know. So anyway, it's great that they finally have a means for people to play this game, and I've heard from one Facebook friend that they love it. It's like the best Star Fox ever. So I don't know, we'll find out. I'm gonna play it and find out for you, but anyway, I'm just very pumped to get this. It does come with a lot of games here. You can see classic games, Super Mario World, Zelda, Contra, the original Star Fox, the original Mario Kart, Final Fantasy, Super Metroid, F-Zero, Earthbound, which is kind of a great cult classic, Mega Man, I mean, all sorts of great games here, Punch-Out, Super Street Fighter, I mean, just the list goes on and on and on. So many great games. This is a huge value, and the system itself, you know, is basically, originally I think it cost about $200 for this system, maybe it was $250, you know, and the fact that you can buy this for about, I want to say it's about $79 or so, and get all those games, 50 great games, it's like, you know, like a buck a game or something, you know, it's a really good value. So anyway, let's go ahead and open this up here and take a look at what is on the inside. We'll pop this open, and we will see. Now, what's kind of cute about these is they made the system so teeny, you know, like it's about as small as it can be. Here, we'll put this in the background. There we go. And first off, we have a little instruction manual. I'm not going to bore you guys with this. This is just kind of a basic thing. It does talk about Super Mario with 96 levels, 9 worlds to explore, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot to the system, and the fact that it gives you some great games with it is just really amazing. I mean, I can see myself playing this for quite a while. Okay, other things included. You do get a power supply, which is interesting. Nintendo actually took and used a regular, you can use a USB to power this system. That's very interesting. They chose to go that route. So a little Nintendo plug, and also in the system here we have a controller, which is reminiscent of the Super NES controller. And there you go. It looks pretty authentic, guys. This looks like the right thing. Rubbery here. The buttons are kind of concave, going in, going out. I mean, this feels and looks like a real Super NES controller. The only difference is that the end is more of a modern kind of look to it with a different end than the original Super NES had. But very cool. And this system does come with 2 controllers. I guess because of Mario Kart and all the different multiplayer games, it's fun to actually be able to have 2 controllers in the system. The original NES Classic got, I want to say it only came with 1 controller. I think a lot of people kind of complained about that a little bit, and maybe that's the reason for 2 controllers this time. Okay, let's see what else we have in the box. We'll come back to the system in 1 second. They also did include a power cord, which is kind of a standardized USB to micro USB cord. And then they also include an HDMI, which is interesting that this system can be played on HDMI, because if you try and hook up a retro system like a Super NES to a modern TV, the scaling doesn't always work so well. So it's actually great the fact that this is an HDMI, so you can actually play these retro games in nice crisp color. I mean, this is the best reproduction of a retro game in like a very long time, you know, unless you're playing it on an old TV, and it probably looks even better than that. Okay, so this is what we all came here for. This is the actual Super NES Classic, and you can see this thing is super duper teeny. It does have kind of a fake input here for the controllers. This is what the original controller ends look like, okay? I believe there is an adapter, so you can actually use original Super NES controllers with a different end on it, okay, if you choose to. HDMI right there, little DC in there. So pretty simple. Oh, these buttons are functional, that's funny. They're actually functional, which is great. You can click it out and got reset. Of course, the cartridge slot, usually that's where the cartridge would go. This is fake, you know, it's just meant to be cute. So very, very cool. I'm kind of curious where these plug into. Like, where the heck do these plug into? Wow, I do not know. Oh, I see. Okay, this pops off. There we go, and there's the actual spot where you plug them in. That's kind of different this time. Instead of showing it to keep the real retro look, they have this little overlay kind of hiding these more modern ends with the classic Super NES look, which of course were bigger too. They weren't this size. It was probably about this big for the controller input. But anyway, guys, that is the system. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I cannot wait to try Star Fox 2 and like the original Zelda, and so many fun games, F-Zero, Donkey Kong Country. I mean, the list goes on and on. If you get a chance to get this, I would highly recommend it, okay? Alright guys, my phone is blowing up. I want to thank you for watching this video. Really appreciate it, guys. Let me know what is your favorite classic game, Super NES or other. I'm kind of curious. If you have a favorite Super NES, let me know, or any classic game. What is your favorite retro game, okay? And don't forget, we do have Tuxx's Christmas Contest going on. Just a little bit of time left. You can say Enter Me or Enter Me Senpai for your name in the hat to win some cool stuff. Be sure and check out that video for rules. Again, it is international. You can enter one time per video. And if you do share this video or give it a big thumbs up, tell me, say Enter Me Senpai or Enter Me, hey, by the way, I gave you a thumbs up. And if you are the lucky winner, I'm going to throw some extra items in the box for you if you gave that extra like sharing or thumbs up and called it out, okay? Alright friends, be sure and check out Tuxx Toys on Instagram and Twitter for slice life photos you'll see nowhere else. And of course, I do have another channel, Tuxx Reviews, that have some of my earliest Figma reviews on it and so much more. Video game reviews, PC reviews, lots of good stuff on Tuxx Reviews, okay? Alright, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.